Good afternoon. My name is Fernando, and I want to talk about Elon Musk. I know everyone is talking about it, but I think maybe it's not enough because there's still things like this coming out, and there's still people supporting it, and I want to do what I can to debunk it. Okay, let's go.
Elon Musk just provided quite a few interesting updates for Tesla's Optimus robot program, which I'm going to cover in this video, so stick around. I'm John, and this is Cleaner Wise. When it comes to real-world artificial intelligence or real-world AI, according to Elon Musk, Tesla is far ahead of the competition. This, of course,
Yeah, far ahead of the competition. I mean, are you sure about that? Um, Well, like if he was far ahead of the competition, then why is he suing OpenAI? I mean, I've heard about like some weird things happening with Grok, which is like Twitter's AI. Um, I don't know where he gets the idea that Tesla is ahead of the competition, but this is like small potatoes compared to what he's about to say.
involves not only their full self-driving program, but also additionally it includes their Optimus robot program, which includes similar hardware to their vehicles, but it's of course used in a different way for a humanoid robot. Now, when it comes to vehicles, solving full self-driving, full autonomy for vehicles has been a massive undertaking, but Tesla is making great progress, and the latest versions of their full self-driving supervised software are extremely impressive, and Tesla plans to actually launch a robotaxi service in the Austin, Texas area in the summer of this year. So
Okay, this is awesome. We feel confident. Like okay, so we are going to be launching unsupervised full self-driving as a paid service in Austin in June. So I talked to the team, and now okay, this is the part that we need to be like aware of. We feel confident. This is a keyword. uh, it means like if you translate it to common, like Elon speaks his own language. When he says we feel confident, it means it won't happen. Okay, just like it's a it's a recurring theme. Every time he says I feel confident, I'm pretty sure that it's going to do this and that. Like it never comes through. Never comes through. By the end of the video, I'm gonna try to provide some receipts to what I'm saying, but it will demand some juking around with the screen screen recording app, which I'm not very familiar with, but we'll try. We'll do.
that's pretty exciting. This is really going to happen, it looks like, in the
It
somewhat near
looks like.
future, and then eventually that will roll out to more markets. But Tesla's making great progress in that regard. When it comes to Tesla's Optimus humanoid robot program, there are, of course, some carryovers that they can take from their full self driving program, not only hardware, but some of the learnings with their real world AI, and they can carry some of that over to their Optimus program. But the reality is, Optimus is going to need a lot of training. In fact, according to what Elon Musk recently said, Optimus is going to require a magnitude of more training versus Tesla's full self-driving program in order to fully utilize the capabilities of the humanoid robot. On that topic, here's what Elon Musk recently said in Tesla's Q3 2024 investors conference call that was held on January 29th of this year. The training needs for Optimus humanoid robot are probably at least ultimately 10x of what is needed for the car.
Yeah. Okay. So this number 10x, it is just like pulled out of his rear end. It's not 10x. It's just a number. It's just like, well, I don't know where does this number comes from, because you can measure this in degrees of freedom. Okay, a car has basically 4 degrees of freedom. It can move forward. It can like decelerate until it starts to move backwards. Okay, so it's uh, a single axis of movement, and then it has a second degree of no, actually it would be a third degree of movement, which is to move the wheel, right? So it can go left and right. So it's not even 4 degrees of freedom, it's 3. uh, and those degrees of freedom have to be controlled by an AI that somehow gets its input from sensors or cameras or whatever, and it processes the information into these degrees of freedom. Well, a humanoid robot has a little bit more degrees of freedom. And the way you calculate the amount of complexity needed to um, coordinate an extra degree of freedom is is something like you multiply it. You know, it's so if you have like 2 arms, each arm with 2 joints, the elbow and the shoulders, and then there's a third joint in the wrists, and then you have 2 legs that move on the hips, and then the knees, and then you have the feet that need to be leveled to the ground so it won't fall, and then it has like the head that is, so I don't know why it has a head turning around. Like, why isn't it just like a 360 camera? I don't know. Maybe it's a purely aesthetical thing, which is like visibly alluring to lanes. It's completely useless. All of that. Like, let's just take the limbs uh, for our calculations. So we have an elbow, 2 elbows, 2 shoulders, 2 wrists, 2 legs, right, connecting to the hips, 2 knees, and 2 feet. That is 12 degrees of freedom. So that would be actually uh, like you're doubling it every time. So you're gonna exponentiate it to the 12th potency. So yeah, think about it. It's a little bit more than tenfold. Okay, just, and these are not absolutely correct calculations. It might be even worse, but it is not tenfold. It is not. It is just really, really dumb to believe that with 10 times the training you're gonna need for a car, you're gonna be able to get the same results for a humanoid robot. That's just a lie. That is, like, how can you even say that and trust that people will believe it? That is wild, wild. And this guy is just like repeating it. He's parroting it as if Elon's word is God's spell. I don't know. I don't understand.
At least to get to the full range of useful role. And when it comes to making sense of what Elon Musk mentioned, when you think about a vehicle, a full self-driving vehicle, it's very difficult to solve full autonomy, as Tesla has proven.
Oh yeah, very
and although
difficult.
they've made great progress, it's a very difficult task. However, keep in mind that what a vehicle does, while the world, it has a lot of different things that can be thrown at a vehicle, and there can be a lot of unpredictability in the world. The core tasks that are needed for a fully autonomous vehicle to operate are small as compared to a humanoid robot, which will be able to, when fully utilized, be able to do quite a bit more than a vehicle. However, I do want to bring up something that I thought about when I gave this deeper thought, and that's the fact.
Okay, let's pay close attention to the order at which he thinks things. Okay, this is subtle, but it's gonna give us a window into how those uh, techies' minds work.
That when it comes to the training aspect, And putting an Optimus robot out in the real world versus testing a full self-driving vehicle in the real world, there's a lot bigger stakes when it comes to a vehicle making a mistake versus an Optimus robot, a humanoid robot making a mistake. When you think about it, if a car is going 75 miles an hour down the highway and it makes a mistake and it crashes, that's going to harm the vehicle, potentially harm the person inside that vehicle, and maybe even kill the person in the vehicle.
Okay, so did you notice that the first thing he mentioned is harming the vehicle? That was so weird to me. Like, vehicles don't get harmed, they get damaged. What the fuck? I'm sorry, YouTube. I said the F word, but how else can I express my sentiment when I hear someone saying that the vehicle is gonna get hurt? Jesus Christ.
That's a really big stake. And so small little
Okay, yeah, then obviously he's gonna talk about the dangers to the pedestrians, right? To the people around the car.
mistakes in full self-driving vehicles and in autonomous vehicles can lead to really serious consequences. However, when it comes to a humanoid robot,
Oh, no, never mind. People around the car doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't even crosses his mind that the car might run over a kid. Like, why would it? Like, people doesn't matter to him. He has already stated that the car comes first, and then there is the guy inside the car, which is probably in his mind it's like a tool that Elon Musk uses to get richer, and the kid is neither. It's useless. So he doesn't even like mention it. Let's move on.
while a humanoid robot could cause some physical harm, a small mistake with a humanoid robot is less likely to cause so much damage and less likely, I believe, to kill someone or hurt someone or cause high amounts of financial damage. With that being said, during that conference call, Elon Musk added, you can say, like, how many different roles are there for a humanoid robot versus a car? A humanoid robot has probably 1,000 times more uses.
1,000. Once again, a number pulled out of his rear end. Like, why didn't he say like 10,000? Why didn't he say like a million or maybe 100? Like, it's just why didn't he say like 1,364? I mean, any number would be just as realistic because it makes no sense. Why? I mean, this is touching a point that has been made so many times before, but I guess it doesn't matter to these people. And the point is as follows: robots have been in use for decades, maybe centuries. Uh, I think like Ford started putting lines of productions into car manufacturing, and from that to turn the repetitive tasks that the humans would do in those lines of productions, to replace those repetitive tasks done by humans by robots. It happened already. Things are being done by robots, but they're not humanoid. Why do you think a humanoid robot is going to have more utility than a specialized robot that is just going to stay there doing its job forever and ever? Like, what is the benefit of a humanoid robot? None. The answer is none. Okay, I'm just going to break it to you guys. The only reason someone might want to build a humanoid robot is for it to be a play toy. Okay, that's it. It's a really fancy play toy, like we have like robot dogs and robot dinosaurs and stuff like that. Like, okay, like he wants slaves. In fact, fun fact, the word robot comes from the Russian word robota, which means forced labor, and it's from one of the first science fiction books ever written. Once again, I'm going to try to bring receipts for everything I'm saying by the end of the video. Stick around. But yeah, this is fun. Like he basically wants to build slaves. Like it's not good enough that we have robots already doing almost everything in manufacture. Now we want to make them look like humans, because then it kind of feels like you are owning people, and that's what he wants. He wants to own people.
And more complex things than in a car. That doesn't mean that training scales by 1,000, but it's probably at 10x. Now, one of the interesting things about Optimus versus a vehicle is the fact that right now Tesla has millions of vehicles on the road collecting data. And that's been a big benefit and a big, huge competitive advantage that Tesla has had over competitors over the years, because they have
come on.
at first. Currently, a lot of Optimus's training is done via teleoperation, where a human them some money versus labor versus human labor, which that means that as they train these robots and as they actually save them
Okay, let's skip over
tasks
this
for Tesla.
training.
Now, beyond teleoperation, I'm pretty certain that Tesla
shit like that
match the output of robots. And obviously, the cost of training is dropping dramatically with time. I think long term, Optimus has the potential to be north of $10 trillion.
Okay, let's talk about training. The problem with training is that we don't have like available data. The ChatGPT large language model was trained with huge amounts of text. The Mid-Journey image generators and stuff like that, it was trained with huge amounts of images. Sunu was created using huge amounts of sound, so audio files. And the thing is, for example, I'm gonna give you just like one fun analogy to what the problem is with robots. The problem with hands that Mid-Journey has. It comes from the fact that hands are very complex to understand in 2 dimensions. If you see a hand in 3 dimensions, if you have like a 3-dimensional information about the hand, it makes total sense. But in 2 dimensions, the way the fingers are placed, they are not standardized throughout the training data. So the fact that it's such a complex bidimensional representation, even though it is fairly simple if you have a 3-dimensional representation of it, makes the bidimensional generative AI makes a lot of blunders. Okay, so this is one of the problems. And theoretically, if you had like huge amounts of 3-dimensional data on positioning of hands and how does that reflect on bidimensional images, you could solve that problem. But you don't have. We actually don't have that much information on 3-dimensional space, because, well, that's kind of useless. We don't have interfaces that deal with 3-dimensionality on the web, on the internet. It's very, we do have some. I'm not gonna say we don't have any, but in order to produce a reliable AI, we need, as I said, huge amounts of data. And the kind of data that you need to train a robot is 3-dimensional. So yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. Like, where is this data coming from? After all, like he says, he's training the bots. Like you saw, like as I was skipping there, you can just go watch the video yourself. But he says like he's training the robots with telemetric movement. So there's a guy that moves a glove, and the glove is connected to the robot, and the robot will copy the movements of the guy. How much of that do you think is needed to arrive to the amount of training that, let's say, ChatGPT, Suno, and Midjourney have to produce the kind of amazing outputs that they have? And they are not immune to mistakes. Okay, so it's not going to work. It's just not going to work. And there are some other enterprises, other companies that have made much more progress into that. I forgot the name of the enterprise. I'm gonna add it all to the post commentary. Stick around.
In revenue, like it's really bananas.
Oh,
So that
yeah, the fact that he said 10 trillions in revenue is also another number. Like when you see something in yellow, you can just replace the yellow for a red and turn it into a flag. Okay, it's a fucking red flag. And I'm sorry, YouTube, I said fucking again, and I'm gonna fucking say it.
you can obviously afford a lot of training compute in that situation. In fact, even $500 billion of training compute in that situation would be quite a good deal. Now, when it comes to Tesla's training compute, in Tesla's investor presentation PDF, under the artificial intelligence software and hardware section, it was written, quote, in Q4, we completed the deployment of Cortex, a 50K H100 training cluster at Gigafactory, Texas. Cortex helped enable version 13 of FSD Supervised, which boasts major improvements in safety and comfort thanks to 4.2x increase in data, higher resolution video inputs, 2x reduction in photon to control latency, and redesigned controller, among other enhancements. Specifically on the topic of Optimus, it was written, quote, progress on Optimus hardware and software continued in Q4, including the latest generation hand, robust locomotion, and training on additional tasks ahead of planned pilot production in 2024.
Okay, the problem with this is like it sounds really fancy, but I would love to see it in work. But all we've seen so far is like people in costumes. Best case scenario, I'm gonna say the telemetric function is all right. It works, but it's such a travesty. It is it is just vaporware. Like nothing that is in that, like this little piece of text here. Nothing in here is even remotely relevant if you have nothing to show for it.
Now, it looks like Tesla is primarily using that training cluster for their FSD software. However, I imagine, and I could be wrong on this, but I imagine Tesla is using some of that compute for their Optimus robot training as well, and Tesla can build out more of these in the future. So it's going to require a lot of compute, but Tesla has a lot of resources and expertise in this.
Do they? Do they though? Do Tesla has a lot of resources? Because as far as I know, Tesla is selling less and less cars every month, and it just got a very significant drop on the month of January. Maybe because of the Zig Heil. I mean, it might be related. It might not, but Elon Musk is pissing a lot of people off, and also Tesla's resources are mostly overrated because it brands itself as a technology industry. It's not like a car. Like if you compare it fairly with other EV car productions, it should be valued. I've read somewhere it should be valued between $40 and $50, and the way it is now, it's just insane. So most of the wealth that is attributed to Elon Musk is basically Tesla stocks, which is overvalued. So if those stocks plummet, Tesla has nothing. So what resources are those that you are mentioning? I mean, it's just a EV factory. It's not much more than that.
Field, and so I believe that Tesla is going to be successful with Optimus and make great strides very quickly. During that conference call, Elon Musk also made some statements about production volume estimates for Optimus in the future when he said, quote, "The normal internal plan calls for roughly 10,000 Optimus robots to be built this year. Will we succeed in building 10,000 exactly by the end of..."
The optimal is another red flag. It's not going to happen. Probably not. Oh my God. Even he says, but we will succeed in make 7,000. Yes, I think we will. Oh my God, this is everything he says is covered with a layer of maybe, I guess, we'll see. And it's never pulls through. It never
December this year? Probably not. But will we succeed in making several thousand? Yes, I think we will. When it comes to Optimus robots being used outside of Tesla's internal use and selling them to other factories,
let's skip a lot of this because this is so annoying.
a month. Now, when it comes to some of the specific tasks that these robots would be doing internally for Tesla,
no, this is
X per year. When it comes to how Tesla will... Now, if we aspire to an order of magnitude ramp per year, perhaps we only end up...
Look, this is his vision for the future. He wants to make 100 million of these things a year, which is like insane. 100 million a year, then you're gonna get in... I live in Rio de Janeiro. We have 15 million people here. Like, he wants to replace humanity with these guys. Is this the plan? What the fuck, man? It's insane. Like, this is why I stopped here, because at this point it goes beyond the viability question. It arises at whether we want it or not. Like, even if it is exactly as promised, why would we want this?
With half an order of magnitude per year, but that's the kind of growth we're talking about. It doesn't take very many years before we're making 100 million of these things a year if you go up by, let's say, a factor of 5x per year. When it comes to how Tesla will scale to those high numbers, Elon Musk added, "The current line that we're designing is for roughly 1,000 units a month of Optimus robots. The next line would be for 10,000 units a month. The line after that would be for 100,000 units a month." Now, when it comes to some of the specific tasks that these robots would be doing internally for Tesla, Elon Musk added, "Well, for this year, we expect to just close the loop with Optimus being used internally at Tesla, because we obviously can easily use several thousand humanoid robots at Tesla for, I think, the most boring, annoying tasks in the factory. Like the tasks nobody wants to do, where we have to beg people to do this task. And that's also some of the easiest use cases for us to have
Oh yeah, good idea, Elon. Why don't you put Optimus to play video games for you?
Optimus do things like load the hopper, like body line transporting pieces of sheet metal to the robot welding line for the body, and you just have to nonstop take things from one...
Well, I think we have something to load the hopper. It's called loaders. We have things to transport pieces of sheets of metal. It's called transporters, I think. We have welding lines. We have all of that. Why do you have to make it look like a human, man? Are you insane?
Fixture to another fixture, and it's a very boring job. Elon Musk added, "Yeah, there's a ton of boring jobs, tedious jobs, slightly dangerous jobs. So we expect to use Optimus for those tasks.
Okay, we got it.
Will be less than $20,000. So like with any production ramp, initially it's going to cost quite a bit more.
Okay, now he's gonna say how
Do basic tasks.
profitable this
When you add the cost of benefits that employer...
He's comparing Optimus to a human with absolutely no regard for what is going to happen to the human. Like, it's It's just like the children that he doesn't consider being hit by a full self-driving car. Like it's gonna break the lights of the car. That's how these people think. You know, like the human is a liability. The human is a problem. Optimus is better because theoretically he will do the work of a human, he will look like a human, and he will be a slave. Woo!
Actually spend for employees commonly as well, based on some average data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, and specifically using data for smaller companies here, not even the higher numbers that
yeah, okay, I don't care about
time. That. I don't know what those costs will actually be, but even if those costs are high like that, the total basic cost of the robot.
Do you want to take a look at this? I just pause it and take a look at this. If you want to
the company in that
just go see the
is able to do more and more complex tasks. Its hourly rate equivalency would go up, making the robot worth more and more over time. With that being said, when it comes to the price that Tesla will charge for the Optimus robot, fast as Elon Musk wants it to, likely not. However, Tesla is very uniquely qualified when it comes to their real-world expertise and their...
This guy is being paid to say that, but I mean, there are some things here that I think they are funny in the comments. Like, yeah, this one is mine. The ratio is amazing. We have 85,000 views, right? No, 20,000 views, okay, and barely 1,000 likes. Okay, that's good. I like it. I like those ratios. But then I think a bunch of comments here are just AI generated. Well, this one is a interesting one. You know, the Chinese will do a cheaper, better version sooner. That's fun. Oh, this one is so AI. Look, there is no you see, there is no, it's Tesla 87. It has no, what's the name, the profile pic, right? I think the selling price of Optimus will be reasonable and maybe just 20,000, but you will have to pay monthly, and for all tasks it is capable of. Without the subscription, it will do only very basic things. What the fuck, man? What? This is AI. This is not how humans talk. And like normal humans don't even have this kind of information. It seems like someone sent a robot to do this. Like, what is this? Vladimir Tsurkan. Okay, so this is probably a Russian robot. 1 trillion here. That is how now the correct number. Woohoo! 3 exclamation points. When an Optimus can complete and assemble an Optimus, only then will this new revolution truly start. Maybe this one is just ironic, and irony is not a common trait for AI, so yeah, this might be actually human. Travis Jazzbo. Okay, he forgot a T. Travis Jazzbot. That's what he is. Yeah, again, like he's adding information that normal humans wouldn't have. Uh, check the last paragraph. Then when one's battery is getting low, another comes to replace it while the one goes and recharges, etc. Just imagine releasing a video of all that. That would be awesome. Oh my god. It makes me sick. Sick. Jesus Christ. Jesus. I'm almost converting to Christianism so I can say Jesus Christ with property, because we need someone to save us from Elon Musk. Okay, I'm gonna try to post some receipts here. I'll pause the video. Oh, okay. Boston Dynamics. If you want to check the the highest level of robotics and autonomous humanoid robots, just go check Boston Dynamics. Also, it seems like Tesla stocks are nearly $400. And as I said, if they were comparing fairly with other car manufacturers, it should be an order of magnitude lower. It is insane how overhyped this company is, and it's all a castle of cards. It's going crumbling down. I don't know when. It should have happened if Kamala Harris won, but she didn't. So now Elon Musk is basically running whomever is responsible to check on him. He's basically giving himself government funds. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. And when someone makes a video like the one we just saw, claiming that Optimus is coming soon, it adds to the illusion that Elon Musk has some kind of vision to the future, but he doesn't. He is a fraud. He knows very well that Optimus, oh fucking, Optimus Prime is a fictional character. Like Optimus is never gonna work. He knows it. He knows self-driving. It's not gonna work. He knows he's in deep shit. I don't understand what is his final goal. I think his plan is to just go to Mars and live there. I don't know, maybe. But at the same time, I really believe that he's really dumb. I don't think he's smart at all. He has shown a lot of lack of expertise, especially when it comes to uh, the Hyperloop and the Boring Company and the way he manages the uh, Artemis project, uh, the solar roof tiles, all of these videos, all of these projects, you can check Thunderfoot for a very thorough description and debunking of those ideas, why they don't work. Uh, the Cybertruck is another one of his massive failures. He has never delivered anything of use. And he might have fooled the entire planet that he was super successful with Tesla, but he just bought his part of it. He never did anything in Tesla. Tesla already existed when he came in, and then it is said that whenever there was a press conference or something, he would, and if he wasn't included on the picture or something, he would call everyone and complain and make everyone make another photo with him. And he found a way by sheer insistence to be included in the co-founders lists, but he did nothing. He did nothing. Just like he never played uh, the fucking video game that I forgot the name, that he allegedly is top 20 in the world, but he's not. And he has already confessed to not have played his character. He is a fraud. He is a vaporware salesman. He is a snake oil salesman. He is going to probably destroy the United States, and it will have serious consequences to the rest of the world. So, yeah, that's it. I just wanted to say my thoughts on that whole video announcing Optimus as if it was the next big deal. And thank you for watching. See you.